Let's jump in here. We have one here from David Valencia. In your opinion, does writing a best-selling novel have more to do with writing skills or the story itself? Ooh. I would have to say, all right, let's talk about writing a best-selling novel. Obviously, there's no key to this, but first of all, writing skills are imperative. I believe, and somebody will probably have to help me on which author this was, but he once was teaching a class and made the claim that the idea didn't even matter, that you came up with the worst idea you could, and you could still make a great story out of it. And one of his students called him on it, right? It became a challenge. And he said, all right, you come up with the worst idea you can, right? The author challenged the students, you come up with the worst idea you can, and I will write a book. And they came up with the Lost Roman Legion and Pokemon. Okay, he had to combine those two things. He wrote a fantasy series, which I believe became an incredible best-selling series. Like I said, somebody from the chat might need to help out with which author that actually was. But yeah, there's a lot that a skillful writer can do. Now, that being said, right, with answering your question that writing skills honestly probably matters more than the story itself, though it is worth saying that the story itself does actually fall under writing skills. That being said, it's not enough. In this mode where I am, trying to get people to buy my books and trying to get my name out there and all these things, I run into a lot of other authors. And some of them are incredibly talented and have written magnificent books. You've never heard of them, right? There also needs to be some salesmanship. That is one thing that new authors especially often lack, is the ability to sell and market their work. I've had a lot of help with that from friends and from my own harsh experience. Those who have known me for a while know that when I first started selling books, I sold books door to door, which is miserable. It's the worst possible way to sell books, but I was willing to do whatever it took. I've heard a rumor, somebody would have to verify this for me, but I've heard that John Grisham actually got started selling books out of the back of his car in parking lots, right? Just had books in his trunk and sold books in parking lots. And that would not surprise me. Sometimes there's not a best-selling book isn't a bestseller because it was a truly great story or so perfectly written. It was because people were hustling, right? Not just the author, but their team, their publicists, their editors. All these people were pushing. And you really need both, right? You can't market a lousy book and expect it to be a bestseller. Even if it does, it flops thereafter. You can look back in publishing history. There are a ton of best-selling books that flopped immediately, right? They pushed it up to the top, but it still didn't have the quality to stay there, right? And of course, you have the things where a book just kind of catches on and goes. But for the most part, you have to get both. You have to have a very skillful writer, and you have to have a lot of marketing and salesmanship. And I do feel like that's one thing that a lot of new writers kind of miss.